And that leads us to the agenda, Robbo. It's an agenda that belongs to Richmond after, well, it was a captivating grand final and it delivers the dynasty premiership, and there's no question as to who the dominant force in football is at the end of a journey that could not have been foretold.
Over the last few months, we have consistently spoken about our competition and our club's ability to adapt. This season is a season like no other. Amongst all the challenges and the changes, the good days and the bad days, we continue to find a way through. We continue to keep our game alive for the fans, for our clubs. We persevere because that's what footy does. It always finds a way.
It's been one hell of an adventure, and to finish off with this is just simply outstanding. I definitely didn't think it would end like this. Make a few movies about this here, I reckon.
It's a different journey. It's been a tough road. Doing the way like we do is just such a good feeling. Unbelievable.
Something that probably won't ever happen again. So, made history. Yeah, I'm not going to forget this night at all.
Obviously, such a big game, and then to win, just a concoction of everything at the moment.
You know, everything's on the line. It is all chips on the table. It's the euphoria, but the pain as well. It's all there.
I mean, that's why you see the sacrifices and the body on the line stuff.
There should be a crummer. It's Martin. He forced his way clear and he snapped it through for a goal. Dusty imposes himself.
Oh, the Tigers needed that. And who else but the two-time Norm Smith medalist?
Yeah, once again, this is what great players do. Take their opportunities and they get the job done.
It came to the champ to fix things up for his club.
That you just try and take your chances when it's your moment.
He shoots! It's the stuff of legend! I'm telling!
That is the best of the four of them! Of course! Dustin Martin!
It's got a wonderful group of people that help us get the job done, and couldn't be prouder.
They have absolutely turned this club into a juggernaut.
And the dynasty is before us. It is Richmond's crowning glory.
In a year where nothing has been normal, one thing stays the same. The Tigers are still the best team in the land.
3 flags in 4 years. They've won the Gabba Grand Final in the year of COVID.
And they complete an odyssey the likes of which the game has never demanded.
This one, I think, is extra significant.
That is greatness for us all to admire. It is greatness for everybody else to chase.
It's the journey that brings you the happiness. You know, this stuff at the end is cool, but, you know, the memories that we've got this year and just over the last, you know, however long, are going to be something we look back on. It's just going to be amazing.
That is the handiwork of Will Tier, tying it all together.
That is the best thing. I know we're on the show, but 360 does that so well, and we've got nothing to do with it. We sit there like everyone else going, wow, that was fantastic. The build-up, the moments, the slow-motion footage at the end. Footy is great, isn't it?
So Jack can take us to a lot of that. So let's pull a couple of the threads. The Tiger dynasty. The great teams win the third, and Richmond did it. They went the long way, just like the Lions and the Hawks did to win their third. They are the match of all of those other teams, and I sat with you last year and I felt like that was number 2 of how many, and I feel exactly the same. That is number 3 in the catalogue. I would be surprised if it ends at 3.
Imagine if Dusty goes 4 as well, and the Tigers go 4. You know what? There's a cliche at the moment, but it's the best way to describe it. They are in the conversation, okay? Because really, no one can pick which team is better. We can't. So it's the highest compliment is that you are in the conversation, Richmond, with Hawthorn, Brisbane, Geelong this century. You win another one, you can join the conversation of Hawthorn of the 90s and Collingwood, I think, late 1920s, and Melbourne in the 1950s. You win another one after that, we'll make you the best team ever, OK? So you're just in the conversation at the moment, and that is good enough. That is good enough. Amazing year. We have sat here all year, Jared, talking about, we'll call them challenges, and really we have no idea how big, how at times they seemed insurmountable. They were abused and accused of being big heads. They were abused for having no leadership up there. And look at this. I think it's their most cherished premiership. Yep. You agree with that?
Yes, clearly. I don't think, my view, it's not even close.
So the first one was the drought breakout.
That's right.
That was just...
And that's always special.
That was...
And the second one confirmed what we all thought. But the third one's the one... They have perfected their system. In the age of system, they have perfected theirs, I think, like we haven't seen before. They are different to the great teams that have come before them. And they're so ruthless and relentless. And you could see it, and Geelong could feel it as soon as it landed in the third quarter. And I'd seen that movie before. I saw it in the prelim 13 months ago.
It was like Rocky too. They threw heaps of punches, Geelong.
Yep.
Heaps.
And they threw good punches too, but...
They didn't go down, and they got up, and when the pressure came and when the speed came, the Cats wilted.
It piqued Richmond's interests. The higher
Do you think it's system? I actually said to you a couple of weeks ago, they put more pressure on the opposition than any team I have seen.
That's the system.
The system is pressure.
Yeah.
So the system should be...
And the surge.
So the surge is what they do.
And they're so damn entertaining to watch.
Yeah, the surge is what they do. But the pressure, everyone can put that pressure on. Pressure, you can, if you're animal enough, Jared.
That's the bit I don't agree with, and I know we're going to discuss this with King and McClure. If everyone can do it, everybody would. There is something special going on here which differentiates it from the idea that everyone can copy it.
See, then it goes back into system pressure into what they demand at the club, which is the role you play. See, what other clubs can't get to that pressure because they're not getting that selfless contribution from all the players. You can get to that pressure if everyone is selfless enough. And then other teams aren't. It's as simple as that.
Dusty Martin, I said this morning that you can make any list you like, and if you want to put Dustin Martin on top of it today, I'm not arguing with anyone. We had a gentleman who's followed the Tigers his whole life, and he's held Royce Hart above all others. And on Saturday night, in his heart, he changed the order. He put Dusty to the top. It was something else. You had it as the #1 storyline going into the grand final.
Yep.
And it was a bit like Makybe Diva's third cup. The possibility was open. We were all talking about it. I think we were hoping for it, but sometimes you wonder whether it's just too much. It's too much history to create. And then it progressively revealed itself.
On the top of every list, Jared. Although those goals were just freaky. There's not a player on the ground who could kick 2 of those goals. He kicked the 4 of them. I'll put it to you another way. This is how I can describe Dustin Martin. There's not a word anymore you can describe Dustin Martin with. If I said to you, Jared, give me a paper convincing me that Dustin Martin's the best player of all time, you will nod your head and say, I'll give that a whirl. Yeah, no doubt. Don't look at me and say, that's a ridiculous idea. You'd say, yeah, I'll give that a whirl. Absolutely. I'll give you a paper right now why Dusty Martin is the best player of all time. And people say best player of all time. Teams play football to play finals. And when you play finals, you play to win premierships. And every one of those premierships and every one of those finals, he's been best on ground in 9 of 11 finals.
Yeah, I'll give you the Gary Ayres voting as well as the Norm Smith voting.
Yeah, he's done. So if you're the best player in the big games year after year after year, that rockets you to the top 2, top 3, top 5. I never saw John Coleman play. I've seen Dustin Martin play. I've seen Gary Ablett Senior, Junior. I've seen Matthews. I've seen Carey. Lockett, Dunstall. There's my group. Where does he sit? He's in there.
Yep.
Now, I said before, if you're in the discussion with them, that's enough, because no one can pick the proper order, but you are easily in that group, Dustin Martin.
The other major storyline, so my one was the last day of Gary Ablett, and it was nearly Shakespearean the way it all unfolded, is Imagine that would be his fate. The same shoulder 5 minutes into his final night in the grand final.
I can only tell you how I was feeling then, and I'll try and explain it to you now. I was really sad. Not weeping or anything like that. I'm thinking, oh, no. Really? Is this how it ends? It can't end like this. And he probably got jabbed up, took painkillers, but, you know, he was never really fit to go on. You can't play in a grand final like this. I wonder if Chris Scott turns around and said, we've made an error by trying to get him back on the ground. It's a difficult one. But
and then this is what the sport now does so well. Premiership celebrations paused, medals tucked in to acknowledge something bigger than just the night.
They didn't wear the medals. They had them off. Or they had them under their jumper, did they?
Yeah, we'll get Jack to tell us exactly what they did.
He's walking off, Jared, as one of the best players that's ever played the game as well. 360-odd games. We all saw what he did. He had that one little magic when he had the ball just for a second. He just went like that and he just popped up and Joel took it and give it to Tom Hawkins. He kicked the goal like 22 up one day. That was that play. You're thinking, my God, have a look at this. But then after that, it was no sizzle.
And the spectacle of the night grand final. So it was a triumph, which is not to say that it should be permanent, but we should at least acknowledge that it was brilliant. The Gabba did the best job it could possibly.
What did it do? It turned the lights on, didn't it?
Oh, so you're a straight no on this, eh?
No. It's a night game and they put the lights on and the teams played under lights.
All the people who came together to stage this event did a superb job with it. The pre-game was underwhelming, but there's been plenty that have been underwhelming. Half-time was a superb addition to it.
Yeah.
And it finished too late, but...
No, forget 2 players knocked out, that's what happens.
Yes, so it might have started...
Fireworks. I didn't even see any of this because I was riding. I don't know what you were doing. But well done. It's part of the thank you from everyone to Queensland and the Gabba for putting this on. But when people say, oh, it was a night grand final, what do you think? I said, well, it was a game played under nights. I didn't really care. I was watching Richmond and Dustin Martin and Geelong fight to the death. I didn't care if it was day or night. OK, so whatever the AFL wants to do, I'll have an opinion next year. What's your opinion?
I'm a twilight guy.
Twilight guy?
Yeah.
No, push and shove. I'm a day guy. It's really interesting though that some really big names in the industry have been saying they prefer a day. The AFL come out and say this is a blinding success. Why? Because the lights were all bright and fuzzy.
1 million extra people watched. It was an absolute walloping.
Everyone's at home. Everyone's at home.
Ratings. Yeah, you can mitigate it all you like, but an extra 1 million people watched and it walloped the NRL in the ratings like it's never done before.
What did you like about it?
It was
most?
a triumph. It was spectacular. It was absolutely brilliant.
What was the entertainment or the game?
The grandeur, the whole thing. It's not just the grand final's not just a game. It's all of it tied in together. It's why things like meatloaf last and become part of footy lore. It is all tied into... It's not just a game at the end of a quirky little domestic competition. It's one of the great events yearly in Australian sport. I think most of it believe it is the event. And
I've got to get out more. I've got to get out. I've got to get my focus off the football more on grand final day, but I can't. It's too overwhelming for me. I'm serious. The game. I'm just looking at the game. I don't care about the bands and the streamers and what else happened. The lights and the fireworks.
I thought it was great.
I don't really care.
It was a great package in its entirety. And
well
Richmond
done.
Crown champions.
Well done, Brisbane.
And Jack Revolt, we live the journey with. He is with us coming up next.